most of these counties in terms of the power, and they've assembled approximately 17,000 personnel that are pre-staged and ready to respond. And as soon as the first bands of severe weather hit, they will come in after that to restore power around the clock because I think they understand how important that is. We will obviously be assisting with our assets, whether it's clearing roads, vegetation, whatever we can do to help that happen. There have been 72 nursing homes and assisted living facilities along the coast that have been evacuated. Some Florida hospitals have begun evacuating or are making plans to evacuate. These include Advent Health in New Smyrna Beach and Volusia County, Cape Canaveral and Brevard, Cleveland Clinic South in Martin County, Port St. Lucie Hospital, Good Samaritan Medical Center in Palm Beach, Stewart Sebastian River Medical Center in Indian River, and Halifax Psychiatric Center North in Volusia. Cleveland Clinic North Martin is a partial evacuation. If you're involved with a healthcare facility, continue inputting your emergency updates into our emergency status system. It includes generator, utility information, evacuation status, emergency contact. If there is a need for something and you're updating us, we have people monitoring that all the time. We have people in a variety of agencies that could then respond accordingly, and obviously we want to do that. We have the gas stations along the evacuation routes we've confirmed are going to remain open. Some of the gas stations in the evacuation zones, you may see some of those start to close soon, but the ones on the routes are going to remain open. I've expanded the suspension of tolls to include routes in and around Jacksonville, like the First Coast Expressway and the I-295 Express Lane, and of course we suspended tolls on a number of roads in Florida yesterday. Also, the Central Florida Expressway Authority has suspended tolls on a number of roads in and around Central Florida. Now, the following 5 ports have been closed: Miami, Everglades, Fort Pierce, Palm Beach, and Port Canaveral. Jacksonville and Fernandina are in condition Yankee. Obviously, as the storm moves north, their status could change. But as the storm moves north, we anticipate some of the southern ports reopening. We're still monitoring traffic and have not seen anything out of the ordinary in terms of evacuations, in terms of evacuation traffic, pretty much what we expected. So this has been frustrating, I know, for a lot of people because this seems like we've been talking about this for a long time, but we are in a situation where the storm is stalling very close to our coast. It is going to make a movement, and the movement that it makes is going to have a lot of impact on Floridians. And so please listen to the instructions, heed the instructions, do what you need to do to keep you and your family safe. Take some questions.
Governor, at this point, are you confident that all of the nursing homes that you didn't know whether they had updated with generators and whatnot, that those facilities are now safe, as in we've gotten the patients out? I mean, are they in a position, the best position they can be to weather the storm?
Well, we have, as I said yesterday, in the coastal counties, the facilities either have confirmed generator availability or that they plan to evacuate. Now, since that has happened, not every one of them has continued to give us updates. And so, if you have a generator and something's wrong with the generator, you need to tell us that. You need to put those updates in. But, they've all either indicated a generator or a plan to evacuate. But this is something that's constantly being monitored by ACA and some of our other state officials. Another thing that ACA is going to be doing is, we have a number of hospitals, obviously, on this east coast of Florida. We're obviously concerned about all of them because it's a sensitive thing, but some of the bigger corporate hospitals probably have more resources to handle this, and so ACA has been focusing on getting updates from, offering assistance to some of the independent hospitals, which may not have as many resources. And so they've been very proactive on that, and I appreciate what Mary Mayhew's doing.
Hospitals that are evacuating, are you hearing they are completely evacuating, and do they send their patients then to the interior counties? Is that the plan?
I think it's a mix. I mean, Jared would probably know more. Do you want to speak on that?
Sure. Thank you, Governor. So it's a mix. Each hospital is doing different things depending upon where they're located, the type of building, and what sort of level surge they might be expecting. So some are obviously moving out their most critical patients. A lot of times they have obviously sister facilities or they have MOUs in place with other facilities.
Governor, how has this storm impacted tourism numbers over the Labor Day weekend? Do we have any idea of how?
I think it's too soon to know exact numbers, but I mean, obviously, if I think we started to see possibilities of this earlier in the week last week. I remember initially we're like, well, it's probably going to run over the mountains of Hispaniola, break up, and then everyone will go. It didn't happen. So I think you're obviously going to see some effect of that. But at the same time, I think the fact that it's taken an eastward track, people that had planned on being someplace in Northwest Florida or whatever probably weren't affected at all. So we'll figure all that out. But look, at the end of the day, I want as robust tourism as possible. But my most important priority is that Floridians are safe and that we're doing what we need to do to be able to assist after the fact. And this is a storm that is a record in terms of the 185-mile-per-hour impact of the Bahamas, and it's very, very close to our shores. I appreciate the tracks that keep it off the shore, but we're going to have some impacts one way or another, and that's really, I think, the main concern. We'll be able to. People are going to want to come to Florida. There's going to be all time to do all that stuff, and we've got a lot of great things going on with the economy, but safety really is number one. So we are. Obviously going to be monitoring this the rest of the day. We have a lot of resources ready to go. The feds have been great. They have a lot of resources ready to go. And hopefully by tonight, we'll have a sense of the movement. And, the weather experts have said once we see the definitive movement north on which path that's on, that's going to allow us to kind of even more concisely and concretely identify the places along Florida's coast that are most at risk. So stay tuned for that. Thank you.